Hey, what is up, my Mini Maniacs? This is Ryanimaniac here to bring you insanity to your everyday lives, and welcome to Manic Movies, the series where I talk about a movie I feel like I want to talk about. And welcome to week 10 of the Halloween Marathon, which we take a look at Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. A very interesting film compared to all the rest of the series. Before I start, though, I do want to apologize for the fact that this video is getting out a little bit later than I originally planned, because Hurricane Michael kind of happened last week and I was without power for a couple days, and I wasn't able to get to watching the movie till today, thankfully, when we finally got power back. So the story of this one follows Laurie 2 years after the events of the last film, which she's recovering from the mental and physical trauma she was put through with Michael coming back, and she's living with the brackets, and she's having these psychotic episodes and always seeing these visions of her hurting Annie and other such sort of thing. She's off prescription, seeing a therapist, mostly just her dealing with the psychological stress that the attack from Michael put on her. Everyone's telling her that Michael's dead, it's time to move on, that sort of thing, but lo and behold, the body was never found, and sure enough, Michael starts heading his way back to Haddonfield. So, you'll remember I said in the last one, I thought that the actress who played Laurie was fine. She was no Jamie Lee Curtis, but for a more modern update, she did a fine job of portraying what Laurie Strode was. Laurie in this film, however, is pretty much giant brat, treats everyone like garbage around her, is taking meds, going out partying, drinking, that sort of thing. Anything to cope, I guess, with the stress. Like, she's seeing a therapist and all that, but she's not taking it that seriously. And yeah, that's the whole point of this film, mostly is just centering around her recovering from that, and it's rather annoying because she's just screaming every other minute and then cussing out people who are desperately trying to help her. And I mean, I understand how a traumatic event like that would affect a person, I want to say, but she's just so annoying in this film. Like, she's constantly just screaming her head off at everything. Every tiny little thing just sends her to an absolute outburst of screaming and swearing and that sort of thing. Is just very annoying compared to the last film, in which I don't know, she felt more like, I don't know, she was not as nearly as annoying in that one as she was in this. I don't know quite the best way to describe it. This one, she's just infuriating. Malcolm McDowell is back as Sam Loomis, and as opposed to Donald Pleasance's portrayal, where Mike was presumed dead and all, and Loomis just sort of moves on with his life. This Loomis proceeds to write a book on the whole Halloween events of the last film, and has now become this huge bigwig celebrity, and like Laurie, treats everybody like absolute garbage. Like, he's got this huge ego, inflated ego, and just like, I understand that they wanted to do something a little bit different with this Loomis to separate him from Donald Pleasance's portrayal, but I just feel this was just so annoying. They just made him so annoying and unlikable to the point that you just want Michael to kill him in this one. And even in the end, they have him snap back and just go, "Oh, I gotta go help stop Michael this time." It's like, no, you spent a good 90% of your time on screen being an absolute jerk. 95%. It's too late to redeem your character and be likable again when you've spent the whole film just being an absolute jerk. Like, if it was done more of a, he realizes how big of a jerk he's being, it's just, no, suddenly he just has to go after Michael for no real reason. Also, throughout the film, there's this whole weird symbolism involving the ghost of Michael's mother and young Michael and this white horse thing, and Laurie seeing these visions and Michael seeing the visions, and it's weird and somehow symbolic. I'm sure Rob Zombie has some sort of idea in his mind of what it was supposed to mean, but it's just weird and confusing. Like, they just, every time they come up, they're just like, come help make us a family again, Michael, and you have no idea what that means, because they never explain what making a family again means. It's just, like, I feel like it was something that was left out of the script somehow, and or maybe it was meant for a third installment, maybe, like maybe they were implying with the ending, but I don't know. I just don't understand how they could have followed up with that. It's just weird and symbolic and just ugh. Like, I suppose maybe the whole symbolism is that they're trying to get revenge on Loomis for capitalizing and getting famous off of their misery, I guess. That's what I took from it, at least. But even then, that's a bit of a stretch. It's because, like I said, it does not explain at all what it means. Also, you remember how the last film I said was full of the standard Rob Zombie violence and gore and swearing and explicit content. This one takes that and amplifies it to 11, because, oh my gosh, is this film super gory, super explicit, has quite a bit of language compared to the last one. Like, there's a good scene where dude's just dropping F-bomb after F-bomb after F-bomb after F-bomb for like a good minute or two, and that's all he's saying. And it's just like, come on, can you move on? This isn't really adding anything. It's just there. And then the rest of the film is also this weird Rob Zombie-esque sort of visual style, if that makes any sense. Like, the visuals in this are very Rob Zombie-esque, just weird and distorted and very feeling out of place in this film. Michael Myers was once again played by Tyler Mane, who in this film I feel is doing a good job. I want to say maybe compared to him, maybe him and Brad Dourif probably give the best performances in this, but even then that's not saying a lot. I want to say Tyler Mane mostly because he's doing a lot for not being able to talk for most of the film. And also, he's got this sort of new, unique design. He's got lost the coveralls that everybody knows, and now he's got hobo clothes, and his mask is all rotted, and like part of it is split down his face, and part of his face is showing. It's a new, interesting design, which I feel was really one of the better things in this film, because at least it did something different with Michael's costume, whereas every other film, he has to have the coveralls and he has to have the white mask. And I don't know, I'm glad this one at least did something a little different to change that up. And I don't know. But even then, he's just sort of see him on screen that much as compared to Laurie. Like, it's more Laurie's film than Michael's film in this, even with the weird symbolism. Yeah, but Tyler Mane, good job again. I'm kind of upset that he was just tagged on to such a crazy, bizarre film. Overall, though, I want to say this is one of my lesser films in this franchise for me, because I watched it and just felt like I got nothing really out of it. Like, it just was something that it was something that just killed time, which, if Rob Zombie was going to try to do something different with the franchise, I feel like I would have been able to have something I would think about. But I came out of this one more confused and not knowing what any of that meant. It was just randomness for the sake of randomness, and I don't know, none of it really stuck with me other than just being outright confusing and all over the place and hard to understand. It's not hard to see why this film kind of got the axe from any more sequels. I wonder if this was going to be a trilogy of some kind, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know, and for the life of me, I kind of glad it didn't become that, because this was the point in which the franchise was just getting way too crazy, as in the Rob Zombie universe. It was just way too strange and bizarre and symbolic and Rob Zombie-esque for, I feel like, a general audience to really get into. So overall, ranking this film, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Because, like I said, it's just weird and confusing and none of it really makes sense. But Tyler Mane was good and Brad Dourif was good. And I don't know, there was a couple good scares throughout, I guess. But overall, it was just a generally forgettable film. Where you're just sitting there constantly looking at the clock like I was. Like, I constantly kept checking the time just to see how much more of the film was left, and only to find it had only been a couple minutes when it felt like it'd been 30 minutes. So, yeah. Not one of the films I'd recommend, personally. And with that, we are now done with the Halloween franchise, with the exception of the new film coming out this weekend on the 19th. So, I'm going to get to that this weekend, and I will come make a new review on that, and then probably after that, we'll be done with Michael for a little while. I don't know. There's another fan film I heard out there that I might take a quick look at, just sort of as a mini review. There's nothing really special, I don't think, about it, since it's just a 20-minute fan film, but supposedly the people from the Never Hike Alone fan film are involved on it, so it might be worth taking a look at least. So, anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like down below. Feel free to comment and give a suggestion of something I should check out, because, you know, now that I'm just about done with the Halloween franchise, I could use some suggestions of other stuff to look at. I've got a couple things in there I might do for reviews. I don't know. We'll take a look and see. But leave a comment. You might have a film I might want to see, and I might have something to say about. I don't know. Also, you can subscribe to see more movie reviews like this, or gaming videos, or whatever else it is I decide to put up on the channel. I don't know. But anyways, with all that being said, stay sane in the insane world, and I will see all you little loonies later.